Thank you. Great call, guys. So one of the questions we have is, why would there be only 7,000 beta players if we have 50,000 creators? Great question. So many have joined SuperOne to earn from their assets, not to actually play the game. So I guess as we understand it a little bit further and people get to understand a bit more, they may actually progress into playing the game. But at this point in time, is that one? Has anyone got anything else to add to that?
Yeah, I think, look, a lot of people, as we know, have come in as passive and they're not interested in playing the game. I mean, I would think the majority of people that have come into the business opportunity are not game players, okay? I don't expect to be playing the game from the point of view of trying to win, because I'm not going to be that good. But I will play the games in the areas that I'm passionate about. And, and for me, I'm not passionate about soccer. I've played the game a few times. But I haven't continued to do so, but other people have. So I think that's just a personal choice thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Definitely.
I think it's a case of just getting involved. Like, if you're involved in something, just learn about it, whether you're interested, exactly what Kev said, he's not really interested in soccer, just learn about it. This is your value, folks. Mm-hmm. And it helps the company.
And in fact, the more you understand it, the easier it is to share, isn't it? Let's face it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Get involved. That's what blockchain and all of this consensus is all about. Get involved, participate.
Okay, so the next question is, those leaderboards, are they monthly, weekly or daily figures? So the leaderboards actually default to the current month. So the filters are all individual months to be viewed historically or look at for all time. So they can be reset as well, I believe. And then any more on that one, guys, or is that sort of pretty self-explanatory?
No, you did well. Yeah, but you can dive through and look at it in various different formats. I think that's the main thing. It's August now, so the current leaderboard will show August, but you can dive back and see who's on top for July, June, but you can also do the all-time one, and there's some big champions in there.
Yep. Cool. So do we need to purchase more NFTs? Are the tower NFTs different from the NFTs we now see or have? Yes, they are different. And you can purchase more NFTs. You're not purchasing, you're actually just trading in your vouchers.
Yeah.
So you're exchanging your vouchers for the NFT. So it's just, I guess that's the correct wording, is not purchase at this point in time. Down the track, will that be an option? Who wants to answer that?
Yes, it will. down the track, you'll be able to go in and buy individual NFTs or maybe buy a single voucher to then redeem on an NFT, may be the process. And definitely the towers are completely different to the and what we call the NFTs. The NFTs are the players and the club images, and the towers are a completely different set, and they will come into the back office soon.
And it was the 750 towers that now got built?
750 towers have been built, which equates to in excess of 23 million NFTs.
Right. Okay.
So plenty to go around.
Love it.
I'll take 1 million or so of those. That'd be good. Thanks. Yeah.
I think it's probably important to right there with you, Kev. It's probably important to understand it as well. We've said this is a longer term process. That's what we love about SuperOne, right? This is not a get rich quick scheme. That's not what this was ever about. This is a business, a concept that is going to roll out and develop over quite a lengthy period of time. And one of those concepts and parts will be the towers. They will develop over time in terms of all of those players congregating those towers. What do they do? And we've spoken about potentially merchandising opportunities and all these sorts of things. That will take time, right? So don't expect that to happen overnight. This will take time, but it's super exciting what it can do.
And I think what that does, it just brings in more player engagement to keep people keep on playing the game. It was interesting. I was chatting to somebody in the States who knows a lot more about this industry than myself, and he talked about Axie Infinity and games like that. They've all got a shelf life, okay? And that's where you seeing the tokens go from 25 cents to $160 back to whatever it is today. Because a lot of people get on board, but they have a shelf life. What I love about SuperOne is there's so many variables and so many different areas they can go to. They keep on renewing, I guess, challenges for players and new sports, new categories, new music, entertainment, whatever it may be. And there's other stuff they've got in mind. I'm sure they've even told us about. They've spoken about education, getting involved in that industry as well. So that's where we're only looking at one thing at the moment. And you're absolutely right, Andy. We've got to look at the big picture, the long term, and it's where we're going to be in 5 years' time, 10 years' time. This is a generational thing. One of the questions is what happens if we've found there's not enough players who are using the pay features? Will the company have a plan B? Yes, of course. And even through the players, with the Player Connect or Fan Connect, they're encouraged and incentivized to bring other players on as well. And the experience has been in the past where they just had a simple 10 question game. The amount of interaction or people that players brought other people in was quite significant. Now, I know it was free, and that's fine, but yes, they've got other plans. I mean, they'll bring in more partners or very marketing, ways of getting people engaged. But I don't think we'll have any problems. And it gets back to a numbers game, and this is what's unique about SuperOne. SuperOne is not relying on the network to create its volume of business. This is a real world business where it's the people outside of the network that are going to create the income here. And it's the millions of people that we play in the game. And history shows us that 10% of people that will pay. Okay, so if we get 30 million people on, we'll get 3 million people paying their $1 a day. I think we've just got to trust those numbers. One other question there is what happens with the compensation plan, the new one, how's that going to work? We don't know. Quite simply, we don't know at this stage. All we know is it's going to change. It's going to be more simple. There's going to be compression. The people who do the work will get rewarded. Okay, so we don't know what that's about yet. Okay, and one other question here was, it was been suggested that we should have at least a gold loot box by the end of the month. Why is this? Dave, do you want to answer that question, please? It was sort of encouraged, wasn't it? Well, we sort of encouraged it, and there's a reason for that.
Certainly. We've had a little bit of insight into what the new compensation plan is, and there was a conversation a little while back about personal volumes. It's been changed significantly. In fact, it's been watered down quite a bit, the requirement for personal volume. And what's also been introduced, or we understand is being introduced with the new affiliate program, is a thing called grandfathering, which has an impact on the ongoing requirement for personal volumes. And the grandfathering will apply in certain elements, we don't know exactly which ones, for gold, platinum and diamond loops holders. Hence, if you have the capacity and you were thinking about upgrading from entry bronze, silver to gold, or platinum or diamond, there is we believe there is a strategic advantage for doing that before the new compensation plan is introduced.
Thanks, Dave. And in terms of listing, are we still looking at Qcoin and only Qcoin? They're looking at several companies to list the token, okay? And we know it's an Asian affiliated business, which I think is Qcoin to start with, but that's not the only one they're looking at. So thanks for those questions. Over to you, Mez. You can unmute if you like, Mez.
Oh, gosh, a second rookie mistake in 1 week. What's going on? Michael, with your question in regards to keeping the records, that will be something that you might just need to take up to your upline, and we can get that answered for you. It's sort of a little bit, I guess, a bit in depth on just to be able to answer in 5 words or less. and even more from Andy. So, well, you know, you don't do 20 words or less very well, Andy. So they're your words.
Don't take offence, Andy. Yeah.
No, I won't. I won't.
I think from your question, Nolsey, about slowing down a bit, this is all recorded, that you can go back and look at this in your own time. Okay, that's probably the best way to answer that, rather than go through and trying to repeat some of those things. Okay, Ms.
Yeah, thank you. There is one there with, will there be more soccer NFT cards being released? And the answer is yes. So you can rest assured that you're not going to miss out. Does anyone know how to change the profile pic in the game? I think you go into your back office and just click up the top, don't you?
No, not quite. It's in the settings, in the new back office. I've got a suspicion that you can change it once, and once you've done it, you can't change it again, because I did change mine, and I've been looking, I can't find where to do it. So it may be that. As we go forward, and particularly for the players, changing the avatar will actually be a premium feature. And a premium feature is something that they have to spend credits on, and they'll either win the credits or they'll buy the credits. So, but yeah, I'm sorry, I can't exactly find it, but when I did find it the first time, it was in the settings in the new back office, profile settings.
Yes, I know I've done it, but I only done it once, so I can't remember either.
Yeah, well, I'm in on my phone. I'm in the profile settings, but again, as we're transitioning from everything being in the app to just the game being in the app, that may be why I can't change it again. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you just have to leave it.
Hold the space.
Yeah, watch the space. So the next question is, so we can't get tower NFTs yet, so hold our vouchers. Yes, so that's a pretty straightforward answer.
Yeah, you have no choice but to hold your vouchers.
That's correct. When could we expect presentations in other languages?
We're expecting those with the release of the new compensation plan. Because the people that have been working on the compensation plan with the company do have those non-English speaking teams that need to be supported.
And it will be, we understand, quite a shortened presentation, which then makes it a lot easier, I guess, to do it in the different languages and get the recordings out there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's all the questions that we have. Oh, hang on, someone just popped in. What vouchers? Yes, the vouchers for the towers.
So the vouchers for the towers and spaces are recorded in the database. They do not show in your back office yet. Yeah. The only vouchers that we can see are the ones that we have for the NFTs, and that's because we can exchange them in the store. The store is being expanded. The store is getting a lot more content in it, which includes the towers. And it's at that point when the towers are available, then your vouchers will be visible and usable.
Yep. And that's not far off, you know, like from what we understand. Now they've got those towers actually built. So I think a lot of this will come out with the separation of the back office from the game, and once that's done properly, then they can add those things into the back office very, very easily, very quickly, because it's not part of an update that's got to go through Apple or Google. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good point. All of the stuff that goes in the back office, the company has 100% control over when they release that, whereas everything that goes into the game, they have to get approval from Apple and Google Play to release an update. So we should start seeing all of our features, the affiliate features and changes should be coming very, very quickly.
Yep. And we've just had one more, and we'll make this the final question. And it says, I'm still not clear on this one. What will be the prize money once the premium features are turned on?
It's up to $175 on a game. I believe that'll be an average that's run. I don't know what time period the average is, but it'll be up to $175 per game. And at this point in time, it's intended that the top 50% of winners will be being awarded super for their gameplay.
And our understanding also, it's not going to be the same prize money every game. There's going to be certain times of the day where prize money will be increased or decreased, and there's going to be particular feature games, I think, where it could be even more than that. We don't, you know, it's going to vary a lot. And once again, this is all about that player engagement. Yeah.
Fantastic. So that's the end of the questions. Actually, thanks for a great, thank you, Shane. Great session, everybody.
Thanks, Shane.
So Colin was talking about the 2010 and 5. Well, I'm not sure that's going to be 2010 and 5, is it, Dave?
Well, that's the whole point. It's going to be up to $175, which is $150 and 25, which means by default there'll be some games that'll probably be 2010 and 5, and we do not have a very specific date as to when those changes will be implemented.
Yeah.
I want to test the premium features for a little while, and the time that they're testing the premium features will be dependent upon two things. One, any changes that they need to make to them, and two, those changes being approved by the app stores for release in an update.
Yep. And don't forget, folks, next week, next Saturday, we've been told we'll be at the town hall. Okay, so it will possibly be the normal time that Andreas does it, which would be 9 p.m. our time, which is 3 p.m. Central time. Is that right?
3 p.m. Central European.
Yeah. All right. But we obviously waiting for confirmation and all of that. So even though we've got, you know, a little bit of foreknowledge of what is happening, we don't have detail, and that will come out on that night, okay, or when the town hall's on. So thanks very much, everybody. Thanks, Dave and Andy, for great updates, presentations, explanations. You know, all that's absolutely vital for us to understand how all that works going forward, to get clarification on that, to know what to expect. And as Nolsey put in the chat, this is a get rich slow, but get really rich slowly scheme, I think, and I think it is over time. We're in it for the long term. We can't wait for it to develop and get to that stage, obviously ourselves, as everybody else. But we're very, very excited. Thanks for your attendance and support. Thanks, Mez, for helping with the questions, and we'll see you on the call next Tuesday evening. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Kev.
everyone.
Cheers, everybody.
See ya.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning.